Hello, everyone. Sufit here. I'm here today with Charles B. Ticker, estate mediator, and we're here to discuss why the facts in question in a mediation are irrelevant. Can that possibly be, Charles? Why? How could you even conceive that the facts in a mediation would be irrelevant? Isn't that the most relevant thing of all?
Well, to the parties and to the lawyers, that's what I'm finding at these mediations is that they sort of look at the mediation as a mini trial where everyone's trying to convince me as the mediator what the facts are. And I have to remind them that my role is not as a judge. I'm not there to find the facts or find the truth, whatever that might be. So that's up to a judge. Where the mediation is not about fact finding, the mediation is about reaching a settlement and reaching a compromise. Now, obviously, you need some basic facts, uh, uh, or you wouldn't be there. But I've seen lots of mediations where they're arguing over, the relevance of a certain fact or a document and how it's going to play out in court, and that's not why we're there. Um,
And we've
that is a
seen,
problem that comes up over and over.
and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've seen kind of in the last, I don't know how many years, in North America at least, and probably throughout the world, the word fact has taken on a completely different meaning, truth and facts or whatever. Facts ain't what they used to be, right? So
That's right.
even if it were possible to establish facts, um, you're saying that that's not really what a mediation is about. Am I understanding you correctly?
Right. And that's my point, that we're not there to argue about the facts, but there's some basic things that sort of have to be established or at least narrowed. And one of the main ones is what's the value of the estate? So that is a problem sometimes with parties come to a mediation and nobody knows what the estate's worth or what it could be worth. So you spend a whole day arguing about the value of a house because nobody's gotten an appraisal. But beyond that, uh, people start getting into credibility and how someone's going to testify at court. I say, look, I'm not the judge. You want to go to court? That's great, but you don't know how a judge is going to rule. So let's see what we can do to find some commonality here and settle this dispute. And that's
And
what we
and
should be
even
focusing on.
and even Charles, if you get to some, if you're squabbling about what the house is worth, and one says, it's worth this, and one says it's worth that, and even with that, you've got contradictory appraisals. One says it's worth a lot because they're going to build a subway station there in 20 years, and the other says, well, it's not worth anything right now, and you're not able to come to a resolution about what the house is worth. Even in that situation, even in that circumstance, would it still not be possible to come to a settlement? Because ideally a settlement is really, isn't it about what both parties are comfortable accepting or less uncomfortable accepting?
Right, because you certainly could find a range or narrow the gap, but there's one fact that is undisputed, and which I repeat over and over again at every mediation, is what the case is going to cost the parties if they don't settle and
Yes,
go to trial.
yes,
There's no
yes,
dispute about that,
yeah.
and the fact that they're not likely to get all their costs back, so they could spend tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. And I'm saying, you want a fact? I'm telling you, this is a fact.
There's a fact.
And sometimes they get it and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, there's a fact. It's going to be a huge multiple of whatever you think it is. Thank you very much. Our guest today has been Charles B. Ticker, estate mediator. Charles, thank you very much.
My pleasure.